you want to triple the amount of meetings that you are booking from your email campaigns or your Facebook ads or your Google ads or your download of an ebook or your webinar? If the answer is yes, then this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through the iClosed framework, ICLOSED, which is a 7-step framework, and it's going to show you how you can take any interested responses and book meetings with them in your calendar so you can sell them your stuff. If you're wondering who I am, I'm Joe Milnes. I've coached over 300 founders to book meetings with their ideal prospects in their calendars and generate cash from it. And I'm going to show you how you can do the same in this video. Let's dive in. What is the iClosed framework? So this is a framework that you use when you phone anyone who's expressed interest in your product or service, but they haven't yet booked a call. So it's an appointment setting function, and it's to take someone who's interested to someone who has booked a call. Now, there's a closer framework by Alex Hormozy, which is a really good sales framework, and you might think it's very similar. It is. What I've done is adapted it because this isn't a full sales cycle. This is specific for setting appointments and booking meetings. So if you have anyone who's downloading ebooks, or they're responding to a Facebook ad, pay-per-click ad, or they're responding to your email campaign, whatever they're doing to express interest, the best way by far, and I mean by a million miles, to convert that interested prospect into a lead is to phone them up and book them in for a call. And this is a framework that walks you through. We're going to cover each letter, what it does, how you apply it, and then you can take it into your business. Step 1, you use this, like I say, the speed to lead is really important. So as soon as you get an interested response for whatever campaign, whether it's an email or someone downloading an ebook, the quicker you can get to this, the better. And the key in terms of preparation for this is that you need to be able to articulate value of the next step. So don't try to phone people and book them onto a discovery call. A discovery call is self-serving. It just serves us, and it doesn't sound very sexy or interesting or like they're going to get value. So think of a way to position the next step. I'll give you some examples as we're going through it. But as long as you have that, and you have this framework, then you'll be able to crack on. And we've got very, very good results from this, from appointment setters who've come in, no prior knowledge of the industry or the offer that they are calling out on. They follow this framework and they book meetings almost instantly, always on the same day. So first is introduction. All you're looking to do is literally make sure that you have the rest of the conversation. All we're trying to do in the introduction is sound like we aren't a cold caller, basically. This person that you're calling has put their hand up. They've expressed interest. They've clicked on an ad. They've filled in a form, whatever it is they've done, but they've responded with interest. We just need to make sure that we can extract the information and offer them that next step. So the job of the introduction is to just make sure that you get to the rest of the conversation. I use the same introduction across all of my appointments and cold calling scripts when I'm speaking to someone on the call, and it is, hi, is that Dave? Dave, it's Joe from Revitech. We've not spoken before. I've called you with something specific in mind. Can I tell you what it is? And then you can let me know if it makes sense to have a conversation. That's it. It's by far the most effective intro that I've found because it uses curiosity, it uses a pattern interrupt, and it uses a permission-based opener to put the prospect in control. So it's an incredibly high conversion. And we know that they've clicked on an ad, so we know that they're interested potentially in the product or service. So we're just opening that up. When they say yes, you just say, look, I'm calling because you've clicked on, or you responded to, or you said you might be interested in, or you responded about an email about X, Y, and Z. Does that ring a bell? Get confirmation from that. Okay, look, I won't keep you long, but just so I get an understanding, you must get a lot of emails, or you must get a lot of cold calls, or you must see a lot of ebooks advertised online. Out of curiosity, what piqued your interest in this instance? The reason we ask that is to understand why the prospectors clicked on that ad in that first place. By understanding the reason and the motivation behind someone's click or action, we understand roughly, they will give us an insight into what problem that they are looking to solve. So we're just going to listen to the problem which the prospect will give us. The next step is L, which is we're going to label that problem. The reason we label it is to affirm that they're looking for help or that they have a specific problem, and to show that we are listening. Sounds very simple, but all of these very simple things stack up to be incredibly powerful. So we label. Okay, so if I'm right, Mr. Customer, you're currently looking for different ways to grow your outbound revenue because you've just had a salesperson who's gone having not performed and you've got nothing to show for it. Is that right? Yes. Okay, brilliant. So you just label, repeat what they've said back to you, and then say, is that right? Get their confirmation though, really important. Next is overview. So here, you're just going to ask a very brief number of questions to get an idea of their current state. So it's an overview of what's going on, whether it's a good fit, and what the scale of the problem is. So easy way is just to say, okay, could you walk me through the process at the moment? So you wanting to get them to walk you through the area of business that you're talking about. So could you walk me through your HR processes at the moment? Could you walk me through your sales and marketing process at the moment and where you feel the bottlenecks might be? Get them that. Okay, and given the problem that you said at the beginning of the call, what have you tried to solve that? And if we weren't speaking, who else would you be speaking to? And why is it, like you mentioned that you want looking to take action, why is it important that you take action now? Just very basic questions that cover the fundamentals, which is where they are now, where they want to get to, why they're motivated to take action now, and what else that they have tried. So we're just getting an overview of all of that. Provided they're a good fit, you then sell the next step. Okay. And the next step, this is where you need to do some preparation, but the next step is going to be your discovery call or your consultation or your diagnostic, however you want to frame it. But you need to be able to manufacture some value from that next step. So for ours, we say the next step would be a go-to-market diagnostic with our founder, Joe. Over that course of the diagnostic, we'll go from cradle to grave. We'll identify what's going well for you, where potential bottlenecks are. You'll get some deep market research and competitive analysis, which you can take away, even if you decide to work with us or not. So we're stacking up the value of that next step. No one wants to get on a discovery call and answer loads of questions about their business. Just doesn't sound sexy, doesn't sound interesting. So we want to be able to build the value of that next step. And you can do this by just thinking, what can you give them in terms of information, a diagnosis, a score, a consultation around a specific area that they will find value. Ideally, I really like diagnosis and diagnostic calls because by going through and treating something as a diagnostic, you are then creating the other problem, which is what they need you to solve. So I like to do diagnostics and say, this is everything that's wrong with your sales process. By the way, we can fix this for you. Let's get into that. And then we spell it out in a way that makes it sound very, very big value, but a very small ask from them. So given that you've said you're trying to solve your sales and marketing at the moment, if we can give you a diagnosis of everything that's wrong, give you some output, some market research, some competitive analysis, and a free consultation, would you have any objections in exploring that a little bit further? So it's like the value sounds big. And it's like, would you have any objections to it? Like, does that sound like it might be of benefit? Yes. Okay, brilliant. I'm going to send you this now. Who else would like to be involved or tends to be involved in decision making like this? Is there anyone else we should include on the call? No. Okay. I'm going to send you the invite now, which is D, deliver the invite. Make sure that, can you just click on that whilst I get that through so I know you've got it. Okay, brilliant. And then the last line, which is also established commitment, is, look, between now and Tuesday, can you think of any reason why you might change your mind, or you might think, actually, this isn't a priority at the moment, I should just shift it down. It's not something that I need to address. And the reason we ask that is because it's a really powerful principle called the consistency principle, where if we say something out loud that we will do something or we won't, we're much more likely to follow to it. So if we ask them, look, is there any reason that this isn't priority, or you might change your mind, or you might put your phone down and think, I wish I hadn't booked that meeting. If the prospect says no, they're much more likely to show up to the call. Booking the meeting's half the battle. Then we've got to make sure that they fall up. Fall up, show up. And that's it. That's the iClose framework. It's really simple, but it's packed with tiny little benefits that compound to increase the conversion. So it's an incredibly highly performing, deceptively simple framework. So that's it. Introduce yourself. I've called you with something specific in mind. Is it a good, like, do you mind if I tell you what it is? And then you can let me know if it makes sense. Clarify why they're reaching out for you, or why they clicked on the ad, or why they thought they might want an ebook. Label that to show that you're listening. Get an overview of where they are, what the landscape is, what they've tried before, what their alternatives are, why it's important for them to take action now. Sell the next step, which is make it high value and very, very low risk. So we give you all this value. Would it be worth 30 minutes of your time? If you get this, and this, would you have any objections to getting 30 minutes in your diary, given that you've said your main priority is solving this? Next, establish a commitment. Okay, can you think of, I'm going to send you the invite now. For doing that, can you think of any reason that you might change your mind between now and Tuesday and think, actually, this isn't a priority, it's not something I'm looking at now? And then can you just make sure that you click on the invite so I know it's accepted? And that's it, the iClosed framework. Any questions, let me know. Other than that, see you on the other side.